Welcome to the NCAA Softball Regional presented by Capital One. It is Elimination Saturday from Knoxville, Tennessee. A rematch of an epic first night between Virginia and Indiana. It went to extra innings. Loser goes home tonight. Winner gets a date with Tennessee in the regional final tomorrow. Indiana has already had to come through the elimination bracket, doing so with a run rule walk-off of Northern Kentucky earlier today. Virginia is also playing their second game of the day after a two-run loss to Tennessee in the winner's bracket game earlier this afternoon. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher, the two-time All-American. Amanda Scarborough with you. It's a triple-header day here in Knoxville, and our third game features crazy offense from these two teams.
Yeah, both teams are seeing the ball really well here in Knoxville, and the ball has been flying out of the ballpark at this stadium. I mean, for all teams with the exception of Northern Kentucky, who came in with low home run totals, but Tennessee and also Indiana and also Virginia, as I'm just trying to piece it all together in the triple-header, have been hitting the ball so well. Virginia, we didn't quite expect this. Indiana's offense, we absolutely expected it, but the way that Virginia has been swinging the bat, 10 of their 13 runs scored in this regional have come off of the long ball. They have hit several home runs. The ball has been flying. Jade Hilton has hit a couple. She's their program home run leader. 5 home runs by 4 different players, and Virginia's offense has shown up here in Tennessee.
10 of the 13 runs that Virginia's offense has scored over their 2 games in this regional have come off the long ball, and their 3 homers against Indiana last night were the most homers they've hit in a game since late February. Indiana's offense, though, has some pop themselves. As we saw in multiple innings last night, they scored multiple runs in 3 different innings against who's pitching.
Yeah, and the thing for Indiana, too, is it's not just the long ball for them. It's their speed, athleticism. They've laid down some bunts and gotten some infield singles, taken extra bases. This Indiana offense continues to find different ways to score runs. They have scored 15 runs at this regional and had 10 two-out RBIs. They use every out of the inning.
Indiana playing in their 4th straight NCAA tournament. Virginia in their 3rd. One of them is going to make a regional final tomorrow. First pitch is next.
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Beautiful day in Market Square, downtown Knoxville. It was flooded earlier today. They had a farmer's market going. It's graduation weekend here in Knoxville. And it's Elimination Saturday at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium as we get a look at the Who's starting lineup. Brought to you by Capital One. Jade Hilton has set the table all weekend long for the Who's. 2 homers in the opening round victory against Indiana. 4 of her last 5 hits have left the yard. And she will take on Taylor Hess His second appearance in as many days in this tournament for the junior from St. Augusta, Minnesota.
We saw Ella Trout pitch earlier today for Indiana in that win against Northern Kentucky to get them to this point. Only had to use Trout, so a lot of fresh arms for Indiana going into this game.
Hilton, one of a handful of Who's seniors from the state of Virginia that have elevated this program to new heights. Prior to the 2024 season, the Cavaliers had not been to the NCAA tournament but once as a program, and now they've been 3 consecutive years. The 3-0 count. Hilton takes a strike.
Her first home run at the regional was just a big statement for Virginia. They've had slow starts in both of their games here, one on Friday against Indiana and then earlier today against Tennessee. But it was her second at bat, and the response in that second at bat with a 3-run home run that tied up the game, and really I felt like gave Virginia life in that opening game against Indiana. Indiana came out with a ton of momentum, put 3 on the board in the first inning, and then Hilton came up and hit a home run in her second at bat, and Virginia felt more at ease after that.
Hilton draws a leadoff walk. But to your point, Amanda, they have fallen behind by a combined score of 8-zip in the first inning. In each of their first 2 games. Last night against Indiana, trailed 3-zip. Today against Tennessee, 5-0 after the first inning. Would love to land the first blow tonight in this elimination game. Macy Eaton, career high 428 batting average. Ball in the dirt. Throw is late and into center field. Hilton will stay put. Parker is exceptional behind the plate at throwing out runners trying to steal, but that ball was buried. And now time called as Shanda Bell, the pitching coach for Indiana, comes out. 6 of the first 8 pitches tonight from Taylor Hess have been out of the zone.
We've seen both of these pitching staffs at times give up a lot of free passes, hit by pitches, walks, and those walks have oftentimes come around to score. Teams have really punished the opponent for the walks and hit by pitch.
Well, Virginia scored 3 earned runs off Hess last night in 1 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, had a free pass mixed in there. Macy Eaton has been the punisher as of late for Virginia. Owns the top 2 single season RBI records. 63 runs batted in last year, more than that this year with 3 runs batted in earlier today.
And this top of the lineup for Virginia has so much experience. Hilton, Eaton, and Cabral. And the bottom of the lineup has found different ways to do their thing as well. And even Reagan Hickey in the cleanup spot had the walk-off RBI that won the game for Virginia against Indiana yesterday.
Go-ahead run in scoring position. Nobody out here in the first for Macy Eaton. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Eaton flares it into shallow center. Van Brandt backing up at second base, makes the play.
It's a big out with the way that Macy Eaton has seen the ball and got a lot of pitches in that at bat, but a great place for that inside kind of backdoor curveball that jammed her up, and she could not get a barrel to that pitch.
In steps Bella Cabral. One of 3 different Cavaliers starters this year to suffer an injury and miss significant time. She missed 6 games in April. Cavaliers are still without their outfielder Kelsey Hackett, who was injured in the ACC tournament. Got 2 of those starters back before the postseason began, Cabral being one of those. It's a program that has had its share of adversity throughout the course of the year. Still managed the winningest regular season since 2004 with 37 regular season wins. One-two pitch.
Like Taylor Hess, kind of pitching against her scouting report early in this game. When you look at what she usually likes to throw, she's a little bit more down with her drop, curve, and changeup and backdoor curveball.
In the air to left, and it gets over the head of Kettleman. It will score Hilton easily, and into second is Cabral. Well, it looked like Kettleman may have misplayed that ball, initially reading it as a shorter line drive, and instead it gets overhead and off the wall, and Virginia strikes first for the first time in the tournament.
Good job, Cabral, sitting back in a changeup and going down and getting it. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but maybe. I mean, it would have put her in a better position, that first step back with the better first step off of the bat to go out and catch that ball in the air. But a great swing by Cabral and a 2-strike count.
Indiana trails for the first time in this tournament since being walked off by Virginia last night. Never trailed in that game until the bottom of the 8th, and never trailed today against NKU. One to Reagan Hickey. Caught the first 2 games of this tournament for the Hoos. DPing, at least to start tonight against Indiana.
It's funny how quickly this game can humble you. You know, Reagan Hickey had the walk-off hit against Indiana on Friday night. Then in today's game against Tennessee, went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. You gotta love softball in the game of softball and what it can do to you as a player. Every player has been through that, the highs and the lows of a game and a 24-hour swing.
How did you bounce back from being quote-unquote humbled in your playing days?
Just try to put it behind you as quick as you possibly can. Just have some chats with your teammates, maybe do some journaling, maybe talk to your parents and they show you a little bit of love in between games.
Hess has struggled to find the zone tonight. She's 0 for 4 on first pitches. All have missed. This one is sent deep to center. Back on it going. See you later. It's a Hickey home run. How about that for a bounce back for the freshman? 3-0 Cavaliers.
It's a home run by Virginia's number 17, Reagan Hickey, her 11th of the year.
Reagan Hickey's 11th home run this season, and she gets one out over the heart of the plate. It's a mistake. Hess's command has just not been there at this point in the game, and what a swing. We just talked about it, that Hickey had the walk-off hit against Indiana. Here she does it again, a 2-run home run after an 0-for-3 game with 3 strikeouts against Tennessee. She responds here in the first inning.
Time called behind the plate by Avery Parker. May we be seeing a pitching change here? It's going to be Aubrey Hooks, who came into the game 3 separate times last night against Virginia, including getting the start. Went 5 1/3, faced 25 Hoos batters. And we will take the break with them. Hess will get loose. Down 3 with 1 out in the first. Aubrey Hooks, the freshman, has been heavily relied upon this year for Indiana, and she will be relied upon again here in the first inning, down 3.
Throws with good velocity, going to come at you 70 down in the zone, 70 up in the zone with the rise that she'll work in there too, but mostly hard down for Aubrey Hooks. And with the way that Virginia is swinging the bat with another home run, she's going to want to roll some ground balls to her infield and keep them in the ballpark. 6 home runs for Virginia in this regional.
And nearly all of their runs have come off of homers.
And just another example of a walk coming around to score. Leadoff walk to Jade Hilton, drew that walk, leadoff runner on board, and got Virginia going early in this game.
2-0 to Weismer.
And sometimes, you know, it's good to be the home team because you get the last swing, but I don't know, sometimes when you're a momentum team like Indiana and you have that offense that they have and do such a good job of scoring first, sometimes you actually like to hit first, you know, and put the pressure on the other team, just probably in the same way that Virginia's loving the fact that they scored first here, immediately putting pressure on Indiana early. It's a big deal in the postseason.
Until this game, Virginia had not led in the first inning of the NCAA tournament. 3-2 here to Weismer. Lays off and a walk issued by Aubrey Hooks, and her first batter faced.
Hitting 6, second baseman number 9, Alex Call.
But Amanda, it was always going to be interesting in this second elimination game, 3rd game of the day here in Knoxville, how the pitching strategy would lay out for both teams. Indiana, of course, just played. Thankfully for them, it was a run rule victory in 5 innings, and Ella Trout pitched the whole game. But last night, they had to use multiple arms against Virginia, who then turned around today and used multiple arms against Tennessee.
We saw a lot of pitching changes in that
Sure
game between
did.
Virginia and Indiana last night. Expecting more of the same today. You know, Indiana's offense is not going to go away quietly. They're an offense that can score quickly too, and Joanna Harden and her team know every run is going to matter against this Indiana offense. Both teams fighting for their season.
One-two to Alex Call. Foul tipped it off the cleat of Avery Parker. Home plate umpire Anthony Small is going to let her walk that off. Parker, the captain of this Indiana team that has eclipsed the 40-win mark yet again under Shonda Stanton in her 9th season in Bloomington. Another 1-2. That time is outside. Strikeout for Hooks. Second out of the inning.
Hooks is going to get her to chase this pitch. Looks like a drop ball that she gets on top of, stays up in the zone, but curves away from Call for the chase and the strikeout after that walk when Hooks entered this game.
Jaden Griffith, the freshman, moving up in the lineup in this game for Virginia. She's been so good for the Hoos. First 2 games batting in the 9 spot. Has tallied 3 hits so far in the NCAA regional here in Knoxville. Ball gets away from Parker. Blocked it to keep Weismer at first. Now Parker's going to walk over and maybe switch out the pitch signal watch. Got to make sure you're getting the right calls. I've seen a number of catchers in this tournament have to do that. These are
I
long
know.
days, folks. Some of the batteries don't last as long as we need them to. Parker catching in her 3rd game of the tournament. That arm looks a little beat up too.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if they were looking at something that they found while changing out her watch. You see some redness or a scratch around that area.
Unquestioned leader of this Hoosiers program this year. Part of helping Indiana reach its 4th straight NCAA tournament. 4-year starting catcher, twice named All Big Ten, is back ready to get behind the plate. One count to Jaden Griffith. Shining in her first NCAA tournament appearance. Takes the 1-1 on a hop to Bird, and that'll do it for Virginia. But the long ball for the Hoos. Back again tonight. A 2-run bomb for Hickey.
Redshirt freshman stepping up after all the vets hitting it in front of her. A 2-run home run and a 3-run inning for Virginia in the first.
Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee. A look at the Indiana Hoosiers starting lineup presented by Capital One. All 9 hitters batting .300 or better entering the tournament, including Avery Parker, who hit her team-leading 20th home run of the season earlier in this tournament against Virginia. Taking on Courtney Lane in the circle, who pitched against the Hoosiers last night. The senior gets the ball again to start this elimination game.
She just went 1 2/3 in yesterday's game, and then Eden Bigham came in, or excuse me, Eden Bigham came in, and then Taylor Smith closed it out. And Taylor Smith was unbelievable in those last 3 innings to close things out for the Virginia walk-off.
Oh. Indiana, who leads the nation in hit by pitches, starts the elimination game with a hit by pitch. Van Brandt takes her base.
With that being said, too, I feel like a lot of the hit by pitches, at least that we've seen this weekend, they're not cheap. they're like true count, huh? Hit by pitches, taking it for the team, just turning in and trying to protect yourself. Allie Van Brandt finds a way to get on. This is a high on base percentage team and offense for Indiana.
And they can flat out run. Van Brandt included 25 stolen bases this year for the Indiana leadoff. Alex Cooper at the dish. Drops down a bunt. Lane spins and fires in time. That pushes Van Brandt into scoring position.
That is a great play by the left-handed pitcher, Courtney Lane. That was so smooth. First base, gets the bunt, and as she's playing back, so Courtney Lane knows that she has to attack this, and it's somewhat of a blind throw, and that's also tricky on Macy Eaton, who is receiving that throw because it's blind from where Lane is releasing it, but they made that look easy for an important out that was given to them with that bunt.
Avery Parker has been part of 3 40-win seasons in her 4 years at Indiana. Rips it over to short, flip to third, gets away from Cabral. Jade Hilton rolls it into the dugout, and the runner's gonna have to come back to their bases now. Will they make Parker go back to first?
Well, I think the ball went, we couldn't see it, but I think the ball went into the dugout. So Van Brandt is going to score, and right now they're deciding on where Avery Parker should be placed because of that. Shauna Stanton was trying to get her to come to third base and trying to get her to hurry. But the ball is going to go into the dugout with the bad decision made by Jade Hilton. There's no reason to go to third base up by 3 runs early in this game. Go ahead and get an out at first base, unless it is a sure out at third. But with the speed of Van Brandt, she's going to be athletic enough to get there. Don't like that decision at all. And more first inning errors for Virginia in this regional.
They had 3 first inning errors last night against Indiana, allowing the Hoosiers to score 3 runs. 5 errors now in the regional. Josie Bird represents the game-tying run. It is gone! And the Hoosiers tie it at 3 on a 2-run bomb by Josie Bird.
It's a home run for Indiana's number 30, Josie Bird, her 15th of the year.
Josie Bird gets all of this 80 miles an hour off of the bat. It is a line drive. That pitch was middle. Yes, it was a little bit down, but a curveball that just hung out over the middle of the plate, and Josie Bird says thank you. She is on time, looking for that mistake the way that Indiana and Virginia's offenses both have done against each other. And again, the free passes come back to haunt both Virginia and Indiana. A leadoff hit by pitch for Van Brandt in the top half of the inning. It was a leadoff walk by Hilton that came around to score.
Second home run of the day for Josie Bird. Had a 2-run bomb in the first inning against NKU earlier today. Ties up this elimination game at 3 apiece. Ball gets through the hole of Weismer and all the way back to the backstop.
And Indiana can score so quickly, and so can Virginia. It's both teams hitting 6 home runs apiece now in this regional. I just have a feeling like no lead is going to be big enough in this game, and we've seen that in regionals last night and today. You have to keep scoring. It feels like usually it used to be like 8 runs, like felt like enough, but you need like 10 or 12 run lead to feel comfortable on this field.
Keep your foot on the gas is what you're saying.
You have to.
Well, earlier today, we saw Texas Tech enter the 7th inning down 8-0 to Ole Miss. They plated 8 runs to force extra innings and ended up winning that game. Hitters count here to Strader. And draws a walk. And of course, last night, Indiana led by multiple runs in 3 separate innings and still came out on the wrong side of an extra innings walk-off to the Hoos. And already action in the Cavaliers bullpen. It is Eden Bigham. And if we see her, it'll be the 3rd straight game that they have used her in this tournament. She has been used often over the course of the last 2 weeks for Virginia.
There were 3 innings in this first matchup between Indiana and Virginia. 3 innings that a walk or a hit by pitch came around to score via the long ball. It happened in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th innings to Virginia's pitchers and Indiana's hitters just taking advantage of it. But his long ball is loud and proud here in Knoxville. Virginia and Indiana hitting 6 home runs apiece.
Fielder batting 6th, number 16, Ellie Dillon.
It only took 6 pitches seen by Indiana to tie the game. That is how explosive this Hoosiers offense can be. Top 15 in the nation in a host of categories, scoring nearly 9 runs per game this year. 0-1 to Goins, gets away up to second. Strader without a throw. Remember, Reagan Hickey is the usual starter behind the plate for Virginia. Tonight, though, it is Weismer giving Hickey a blow. Does that entice Indiana to be even more aggressive than usual on the base path? It's already 7 stolen bases in the regional for the Hoosiers. Goins roped, foul, just past the mitt of Cabral.
Indiana has over 130 stolen bases on the season. Over 85 home runs, so just a really well-balanced offense, something that Shonda Stanton, when taking over this program, was trying to build here at Indiana. Those were her goal numbers, to build a team that would steal over 100 stolen bases and drop 75 bombs. She said she wanted that athleticism to create both, and she has athletes on her team that can do it. You can see how she is built around a prototype of athletes who love the weight room, who want to get stronger, who want to get faster, who want to hit more home runs and steal more bases.
Two-two to Goins. Again, the lefty lane spinning and firing. 2 down as Strader moves over to third, and now the go-ahead run 60 feet away for Indiana in the first.
Fifth batter, batting 7th, VP number 11, Brooke Mannon.
And in steps Brooke Mannon. Transferred in the offseason from Arizona, where she was almost exclusively used in the circle. Did not get many swings at the plate in her time with the Wildcats. And now has been primarily used as the DP this year at Indiana. Go figure. Slotting in very nicely with this explosive Indiana offense.
Well, they talked about, too, Coach Stanton did, about how aggressively she swings. You saw it there in that 2-0 count. An aggressive swing, high exit velocity, and what's different about her is that she gives them something different with the way that she makes contact, more of a ground ball hitter with a high exit velocity.
Singled and drove in a run earlier today in that elimination game victory against Northern Kentucky for Indiana. Winner of this game will get Tennessee tomorrow in the regional final.
Helped Courtney Lane out there chasing that drop ball, and that may be exactly what Courtney Lane needed for some confidence in this at bat to try to get her out and keep this a tie game.
Three-two. Caught in the air by Hilton. Indiana ties the game. Long ball showing up again for the Hoosiers.
Josie Bird doing it with her bat today, showing off her power. A 2-run home run for Josie Bird, and we are all tied at 3 in this elimination game in Knoxville. Seen a lot of home runs and offense this year in 2026, and you think about how far the offenses have come over the course of the last 30 years. Pitchers' ERAs are up from 30 years ago, 2.64 average D1 ERA, to last year 4.19. Then the runs per game up from back in 1995, under a 4 runs per game mark, and then over the last 20 years that number has just risen on up, pushing 5 runs per game, which is what we're seeing now as all-time highs. That 4.64 ERA, 5.1 runs per game, both on pace for season records in Division I. We've seen a ton of offense here in Knoxville and all across the country. Home run record after home run record for Division I, program records, conference records being set and really crushed throughout this year.
And already 6 runs in this game through 1 inning. Both teams with a home run in the first.
And I know that, you know, it's hard to think about, right, like the ERA over the course of 30 years going from 2.64 to 4.19. Like numbers side by side, that's not a lot, but when you think of the percentage increase that is a massive percentage increase.
Two-one to Madison Green, smacked foul. Aubrey Hooks back in the circle for Indiana, came in to relieve Taylor Hess after she gave up 3 runs in the first.
And it does seem like The strike zone is a little bit tighter. Hitters have more information than ever before about a pitcher, and every year that information gets deeper and deeper, down to knowing the exact mile per hour that they throw, what they like to throw righties in certain counts, lefties in certain counts. And as a hitter, you go up with that information, you feel armed.
Good pitch there from Hooks, her second strikeout.
It's a drop ball that falls off the table, 70 miles an hour, down in the zone, gets the chase from Madison Green. Good late break on that pitch by Hooks.
One down, base is clear for the 9-hitter Cassidy Hudson. Why do you think the strike zone has gotten smaller? And you're not, by the way, the only one who's thought that. Time and again, Amanda, traveling the country this year calling games, we've heard that from many coaches throughout the country.
Why do I think it has?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really don't. Maybe it's the umpires that are coming through. Maybe they're, with the data that is had, there's, I think, also more pressure not only on pitchers, but the umpires who are getting information from the data that comes through from Yakkertech and TrackMan, and they're getting graded and maybe feeling pressure back behind the plate not to make mistakes. But I think in general, the consensus is, I think coaches would like to see a little bit wider of a zone, even if that means calling a ball off the plate, but just making sure that all the true strikes that are going into the strike zone are being called strikes and not being called balls and not getting missed. I think that's the most important part. And if you call a few what should be balls strikes, I think everybody in general is okay with that, right? Like, don't get carried away, but I think we like to see a slightly bigger zone. Makes the hitters swing the bat a little bit more and look to hit, right? Instead of look to walk.
Jade Hilton drew a walk in her first AB. Stole the bag, came around to score. Has been swinging it more freely in this tournament. It was 2 for her last 17 prior to entering the NCAA tournament. Very out of character for arguably one of the best hitters in program history. Certainly one of the best power hitters for sure. Rocked on the 2-1. Diving attempt, Van Brandt will not beat the speed of Hilton, who is aboard for the second time tonight. Strike one to Macy Eaton. Helped this Virginia team begin their season winning 21 of their first 22 games. That included going 6-0 against Big Ten opponents. Had a pair of wins against Michigan, NCAA tournament team down in the Oklahoma regional. And with Virginia's win against Indiana last night, Amanda, they're now 7-0 against Big Ten foes this year. Impressive mark for the Hoos, who finished 6th in the ACC. One of 8 programs out of that conference to make the regional.
Well, and had some quad one wins as well. Virginia did throughout their season, something that Indiana was lacking on their resume heading into Selection Sunday, and why Indiana was likely one of the last 4 teams in to make the tournament. Besides, I mean, having a really good year, but not have a top 25 RPI win this year.
Liner out to Van Brandt, tied at 3. Indiana will try to take the lead when we come back.
Regionals Division I women's softball. There it is. This is going to be a bam bammer. Oh, and she's safe. A great effort. UCLA Bruins are the champions. Isn't that what it's all about, folks?
That was the first NCAA Women's College World Series Championship. UCLA has won a national record 12. Arizona right behind them, and Oklahoma. Game has come a long way since '82.
Oh my gosh, I love seeing that footage and just thinking about how much we've grown over the course of basically 25 years. Wait, 45 years? Wait, hold on. 45 years. Yeah, sorry. Long day for everybody.
Game
3. Hashtag Game 3. See if UCLA can, or actually, have they played today? I think they did. They beat South Carolina. Yeah. I just can't believe that Cal Baptist scored 10 runs against UCLA last night to take the lead.
Good backhand at second. Slick play by Alex Call. I agree. Cal Baptist was up in that game.
11-7. Yeah, late into the game.
Left fielder number 50, Cassidy Kettleman.
Cassidy Kettleman's had a heck of a day in Indiana's earlier elimination game. 2 diving catches in left field. Also had a couple of good at-bats. Drove in a pair of runs on a deep single into the outfield. Also reached on a bunt. Told us after the game when asked, what do you prefer to do more? Hit a rocking base hit or make a diving catch in the outfield? She gave a very politically correct answer. I like to do them both, especially when I have a chance to flip the lineup over for this dangerous Indiana Hoosiers offense.
Hard to choose, but she made 2 diving plays in 1 inning in back-to-back batters. Big hole again in center field. The right fielder, Green, is playing in right center field. Big shift on Kettleman.
Right into the mid of lane. Third ground out to the pitcher tonight for Indiana. 2 down. And now second time through beginning for the Hoosiers. Scored 3 runs first time through. 2 of those on a Josie Bird 2-run homer.
Bella Cabral, third base for Virginia here, just continues to play right in the face of these lefties.
What a tough play at second base, and it gets away from Macy Eaton. Alex Call did her best. To even keep that ball in the infield was impressive. Infield single for Allie Van Brandt to extend the inning.
Alex Call has been really good at going to her backhand, showing good range here, but Van Brandt has such good speed. Remember, she started out as a slapper and now swings away from the left-hand side, so not a lot of time for Alex Call to make that play. Great hustle by Van Brandt to quickly get down the line.
Van Brandt with great speed was second in the Big Ten this year, behind only Mariah Poehler in stolen bases, had 25. Stands at first, 1-0 count. Cooper fouls it back. Cooper lifts the 2-1 into left field, headed towards the wall, and it's caught. Crashing into the wall, the freshman Jaden Griffith. Have a tournament, Miss Griffith.
That
That
ball,
ends the second.
it just continued to travel and travel and travel. In fact, the distance says 203 feet. At the left field pole, it is 200 feet, and then it bows out a little bit. But Griffith's route to get to that, she did not stop running into the wall, holding on to the ball when she crashes against the wall. She's been so good at the plate, and now we get to see her defense too.
The home of the Women's College World Series. Field of 64 beginning tonight. We whittle it down to 32, and only 8 teams will make it to OKC and play for a national championship later in May and into June. In our bracket here in Knoxville, Tennessee, trying to get back to the Women's College World Series where they were nationally semi-finalists last year. They await the winner of Virginia and Indiana for the final spot in the regional final. And whoever comes out of this region will take on the winner out of Athens, hosted by the Georgia Bulldogs. Good piece of hitting there to lead off the inning for Virginia. Bella Cabral with her second base hit of the game. I remember a time, Amanda, not too long ago, that if you were nationally seeded and hosting your own regional, it was almost a foregone conclusion that you were going to a super. And if you were a top 8 seed, we all figured, yeah, we'll see you in Oklahoma City. That is not the case anymore. This race to OKC feels as open as we have seen it in a long time.
It's just really hard to get to the Women's College World Series. I know that quite a few teams make it look easy with all the appearances that they've had, but it's not easy at all. I mean, these 4 teams are national seeds in the elimination bracket, so one loss away from their seasons ending, even though they were a top 16 national seed. That was earned from how well that they played throughout the season. A lot of hungry teams this year.
.3-0. Hickey lays off. And now it's 3-0. homered earlier tonight off Hess, knocking the Indiana starter out of the first inning. Chance to do damage again here in the third, help Virginia regain the lead. Outside, ball 4. Second free pass issued tonight by Hooks, and now 2 on and nobody out for Virginia.
Catcher for the Cavaliers, number 12, Hannah Weismer.
And Shanda Bell, the pitching coach for Indiana, out of the dugout.
It's a big opportunity here for Virginia in this tie game. Right now, everything has been identical. 2 threes put up in the first inning, 2 zeros put up in the second inning. So we'll see what happens here in the third, and if Indiana is going to match whatever it is that Virginia does in the top half of the inning. Shanda Bell wanting to make sure that her and Aubrey Hooks and Avery Parker, everybody on the same page about how to attack the middle of the lineup here for Virginia with 2 on and nobody out.
Don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals. We will take you to the best live action on the 7 Innings live show over on the app. You can see every game, every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Ball pops out of the mid of Parker, scrambles to corral, keeps both runners at bay.
It's tricky for Aubrey Hooks because I feel like her command wavers. Some innings she's living on the edges and making great pitches, and then in the next inning she's missing too much off the plate, getting herself into some hitters counts and pitching from behind. And then there's other innings where she's attacking the strike zone a little bit too much and too much over the heart of the plate. There's some freshman growing pains, you know, that she's working through her first season. Some pretty big misses right now in this inning for her command and where she's at. Falling behind 2-0 after walking Reagan Hickey.
Well, you mentioned it earlier when she came into the game. She is a down ball pitcher. Inducing ground balls is the name of her game, and Indiana has turned 33 double plays this year. That's among the top 10 in the country. They would love to get one here.
That's why it's not too surprising for Coach Harden to call a sacrifice bunt. They're just trying to put the ball down, move both runners up 60 feet, trying to avoid that double play, but not able to put it down. And now Hooks has 2 strikes.
Ropes it into left field. Kettleman comes up throwing, and they will hold Cabral at third. The bases are loaded for Virginia with nobody out in the third.
Weismer goes up to get this. Again, that's a pitch that looks to me like it has drop ball spin, meaning it is over the top spin and it stays up in the zone right into the swing path of Hannah Weismer. Turns on that inside pitch out over the heart of the plate. Virginia has a huge opportunity here.
Call deep into the air in center. It is gone! Grand slam, Alex Call. Who's back in front?
And the home run by Virginia's number 9, Alex Call, their 8th home run of the year, the second grand slam.
That's her second home run of the day for Alex Call, but this one has to be the biggest one of the day. A grand slam to break up this tie. Alex Call playing such a good second base and taking hacks like that. 70 miles an hour off the bat, about 220 feet for distance. More of a line drive that got out of here. What a swing. And again, Virginia able to capitalize on a free pass, get the first 3 on in this inning. Alex Call just a no-doubter off her bat to give a 4-run lead to Virginia.
And it's another Virginia home run, knocking yet another Indiana pitcher out of the game. Brooke Mannon will slot in on the rubber. Began the day as the DP for Indiana. Spent 2 years primarily as a pitcher, though seldom used. Her final season at Arizona, transferring in the offseason to IU. Junior from West Jefferson, Ohio, will make her first appearance tonight.
Tricky part about Brooke Mannon entering this inning is that there are no outs. Virginia, first 4 in this inning, have reached. Cabral getting things going. I mean, what a great job by Cabral to get the leadoff on, second time in this game, and in both times that they've gotten the leadoff on, they've put up a big number on the board.
Shonda Stanton told us earlier in the year there was a point where Brooke Mannon was the firewoman. She would come in and put out the fires and just help Indiana get to their closer. This is a big fire to put out. 4-run deficit, largest of the tournament for Indiana. And to your point, nobody out as Jaden Griffith comes to the plate.
Of the runs that Virginia has scored in this regional have come off of their 7 home runs. That is 16 of their 20 runs that they have scored have been via the long ball.
Well, they came into this tournament, Amanda, with home run pop. Now, not to the level of Indiana, but they were 5th in the ACC this year in home runs, had 63 on the year coming into the tournament. 7 already through 2.5 games played here in Knoxville. Griffith lines it into the mid of Van Brandt. First out of the inning. These two teams playing to keep their season alive. For a right to play Tennessee on Sunday in the regional final. Upstairs to Madison Green.
Coming into the first matchup that Virginia and Indiana played each other, you thought Virginia had the pitching edge, Indiana had the offensive edge, and Virginia, it's been their offensive edge in the big moments where they just have not gone away.
Green flares it into right. Van Brandt called off. It's Goins. 2 outs. Isn't that sort of the vibe, though, that we got from this team, and particularly Jo Harden? The not going away piece. Each time we've talked to her in the in-game interviews, she's mentioned things like keep chipping away, keep knocking and the door will open. That's sort of been the theme of this team this year.
Yeah, this Virginia team has had really high highs this year and really low lows, in their words, not even in our words. That's what they told us on Thursday. We had a chance to talk to them. But they said, but that's what you need in the season. Those moments and those low lows have really made us stronger and resilient. You talked about the injuries and a tough April. This is a team that coming into the season had big goals to be a top 16 national seed. With the talent they had coming back, a deep pitching staff that had a lot of experience, they thought that they had the roster to be able to put things together to do that. Started out really hot, started out on that path that was looking really good to put them in the mix of a top 16 national seed, and then April hit, and it was a challenging month for Virginia.
Lost 6 games in a row at one point in April. Scored just 3.7 runs per game that month. The ERA way elevated for a staff that was top 3 in the ACC. There was a moment in April where they had to do some deep soul searching. Like, are we the team we thought we were? Are we the team that's going to make the NCAA tournament? Then after that soul searching, they swept North Carolina State. Got back on the right side of things to a certain extent, doing enough to get into this tournament as an at-large bid. On the appeal to third, did not go around. And now a full count to Cassidy Hudson in the 9 spot.
And when you're in a losing streak, it feels like it's never going to end. You're like, okay, I'm ready for this to end like yesterday, and then you lose another game, and you're like, okay, this is never going to end. We're going to lose forever. It's never going to stop. You start to spiral.
Another appeal. And Bobby Martinez says no. Hudson did not offer. Up to first base she goes. It's like the it's always raining mentality. Is it ever going to stop raining?
Yeah.
How did you get out of that as a player? I know you guys didn't lose many games at Texas A&M, but times you did. How did you sort of find a way out of that?
Yeah, it takes a lot of leadership to get out of low moments like that, and putting in a lot of work. And man, the team meetings, you have a lot of team meetings with your coach not there, just talking things through, trying to throw things against a wall, say different things, have different people speak up, just trying to figure it out. Like, that is one thing I don't miss about being on a team, are the team meetings when you're struggling, because they're just kind of awkward, they're not fun. But every team is going to go through hard moments in a season and have those times where you're just trying to figure something out. Maybe it's not a 6-game losing streak, but it's an injury or a bad weekend, or I don't know, somebody did something off the field and you got to address it. You know, you handle it together as a team and take ownership of those moments. And your leadership really steps up in those moments.
Such a long season. And if you're lucky enough to make it to this point, you've played over 50 games together, plus fall ball, summer training. So much goes into getting here to Mayhem, and Hilton, one of those leaders. Senior batting at the top of the order with a runner on. They had a 1-2 count. Check swing, she went, according to home plate umpire Anthony Small, and that gets Indiana out of the inning. But an Alex Call grand slam gives the Hoos the lead.
Seems like a long time ago now that Alex Call stepped up with the bases loaded and hit a grand slam. That's her second career grand slam, and she gives Virginia a big 4-run lead at the bottom of the third.
nothing like the Women's College World Series.
ESPN is the home of every game leading up to and at the Women's College World Series beginning May 28th. Top 16 NCAA regional seeds. Tennessee, of course, the 7th seed hosting this regional site in Knoxville.
This would be if everything held true, there were no upsets, everything held chalk. These would be the super regional matchups: Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Oregon, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Duke, Florida, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Georgia, and UCLA versus FSU. The higher seed, the top 8 seed, would get that home field advantage. A lot of good ones mixed in there.
We're not sure chalk is going to hold.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. A lot of ball left to be played tonight and tomorrow. A lot of national seeds, 4 national seeds playing in elimination games tonight.
Good piece of hitting there to opposite field. Off the bat of Josie Bird, who's had a nice night. Second time aboard for the first baseman.
And they're playing her more to the pull side as Virginia continues to play these big defensive shifts. And Josie Bird let that one get deep, sends it the other way.
They will pinch run for Bird. Peyton Drummond in at first base. One of the primary pinch runners this year for IU.
At the plate for IU, third baseman number 8, Madeline Strader.
All right, you mentioned multiple national seeds playing in elimination games. It is a full slate. These are the 4 that are going to be playing out of the elimination bracket. Florida State, Duke, Oregon, and Texas A&M. Who's on upset alert tonight?
I'm trying to remember. I don't even know who everybody plays because I don't know. I can't remember who everybody is actually.
All of them, I guess, are on upset alert.
Yeah. I think they started pretty early. Florida State did. I think they might even have, they won twice today, so they made it through. They'll be playing tomorrow and trying to take UCF to Game 7 and force the if necessary game. UCF has played very well.
Texas A&M playing UConn later on tonight. (3-1) upstairs. Strader will take her base.
All right, here's Courtney Lane, who was doing so well, and these walks and free passes have been where Virginia has gotten into trouble, and Indiana as well. I mean, it's just not been a one-sided thing with the free pass, make them pay situation. Big chance for Indiana here to answer right back, especially with Ellie Goins coming up, who hit 2 home runs and also had an outfield assist in center field. This was against Virginia in Game 1. Goins had quite the night. 2 home runs, and then the bottom of the 7th inning in a tie game. Ball was hit out to her off the bat of Jaden Griffith, and she came up and threw the runner out at home to keep it a tie game. Virginia the next inning and extra innings would go on to walk off Indiana, but Goins, my goodness.
Right up the middle, into the shift, off the glove of Call, around to score Drummond on a very hard hit ground ball by Goins. Indiana cuts into the deficit.
She's just making such hard contact when she is stepping up to the plate. I mean, she has been on a roll, and Peyton Drummond was just ready to go, head down, pumping her arms, trusting her head coach who's sending her, not second-guessing at all. You have to have that trust with your third base coach when they're sending you on a ball that's in the infield. You're unsure with your own eyes about where it's at, but they trust Shonda Stanton and their speed.
6th run batted in of the weekend for Ellie Goins. Very familiar with this Virginia pitching staff, transferring in, remember, earlier this year from North Carolina State, an ACC foe. But this is her first NCAA tournament in her last season of college softball, and she is taking advantage of every moment. Man in high hopper, gonna be a tough play, and it's made by Alex Call, who gloved it and kept her foot on the base blindly.
It's her grand slam hitter right there, playing a good second base. She keeps getting challenged to her backhand, and look at her make that pick and drag her foot across second base for the force out. What athleticism by Alex Call to get an out. That easily could be a short hop or a hop that hits her glove and she bobbles. It's not easy at all. An important out in this inning. The second out.
Joe Harden is out, brings her infield defense in. Runners at the corners for Indiana. The game-tying run will come to the plate in the form of Hannah Haberstroh. Don't miss the NWSL Sunday night matchup on ESPN2. Portland going head-to-head with Angel City. Kickoff is set for 6 Eastern. You can watch it live on the Deuce as well as the ESPN app.
So just me or women's professional sports thriving right now? NWSL, WNBA, AUSL this summer starting June 9th.
All of them.
We just didn't have, we didn't have professional women's sports for me to watch growing up. I watched so many men's sports, and it's just really cool to see all the different variety of women's sports and professional leagues that you get to watch on our ESPN networks now.
Runner goes, no, back to first man, and she was trying to draw a throw from Hannah Weismer. Was straighter at third and did not.
Everybody's kind of looking into the dugout. You can tell, like, did I do the right thing? Is that what she wanted me to do? Like, is that what we just talked about in our timeout?
Runner goes. Oh, she's really trying to elicit that throw. Stopped middle of the base path and then retreated back to first.
She's getting a lot of sprints in over at first base right now. Brooke Mannon is, you're right, trying to draw that throw, especially with 2 outs, trying to lure Virginia to make that throw.
There she goes again, and she will take it all this time. So now 2 in scoring position for Indiana. They are 2 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. 1-2 pitch. This is upstairs. Shonda Stanton, of course, head coach for Indiana over at third base, will coach in the AUSL this summer for the Chicago Bandits. Trying to put her team in the right positions here in this elimination game. Popped foul, it'll get out. Haberstroh 1 for 6 in the tournament. Grounded out against Courtney Lane earlier tonight. Should she reach, Cassidy Kettleman awaits in the 9 spot. '50th pitch of the night for Lane. Haberstroh into the air and down in the gap in right center. It will play 2. Haberstroh thinking 3. The relay to third. In time by Virginia. But Indiana scores 2, and it's a 1-run game in Knoxville.
Indiana just continues to answer back, but a great play defensively by Virginia to bring in this relay from right center field. They've been playing these relays really well in this regional. Great tag, beat her by a mile, but you know what? Indiana is going to continue to stay aggressive.
You're watching the NCAA Softball Regional presented by Capital One. Elimination Saturday in Knoxville, and we've got a good one again. Top of the 4th set to start. Virginia with a 1-run lead. Joanna Harden joins us. Coach, always appreciate your time. Boy, these have been some fun games against Indiana, haven't they? What is it going to take for your team to come away with a win and get into a regional final tomorrow?
Keep punching, more runs, just keep swinging it. I thought we've had great at-bats. We've hit balls hard right at them. They're making great defensive plays. We're making great defensive plays. This is a great game. We've played 3 games, our 3rd here, and it's been a lot of energy, a lot of hype, a lot of great plays, a lot of balls hit out of the park, and we're just going to have to keep swinging.
Coach Courtney Lane, still in this game for you at this point. What is your pitching plan as you move forward? Give us some insight here.
Yeah, we're probably going to make a change here pretty quick. And, Taylor threw 5 2/3 earlier today in game 1 and gave us a lot. So she's limited tonight. So she's available, just not quite yet. So we're going to, rely on our seniors. They know what it takes, and we trust them. So we'll probably get Biggie in here pretty quick and get us through this game.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Go Hoos.
Well, her senior class is very experienced, particularly in this postseason. Hoos have been here 3 years in a row. One of those times was in the Knoxville Regional.
First for Virginia in the 4th. First baseman number 19, Macy Eaton.
For Indiana, it's Brooke Mannon back in the circle. The 3rd Hoosier arm used tonight. Macy Eaton at the plate. Lays off a strike.
And Macy Eaton has really leveled up her game at the plate this year with her batting average up by 100 points from last season, and had the RBI power, of course, last season, when she set that record and broke it earlier today. But she talked to us about her mental game just being different, how she focused on it. She, before games, will journal and write everything down in her head, and she feels like by writing things down and journaling and taking all the thoughts and fears and worries, concerns out of her brain and putting them into that journal, that her dad actually got her. It's really put her more at ease in the game, out on the field, when she's up at the box. And she said her dad got this leather journal for her. There's Bible verses in there, and also how proud he is of her, with just messages from her dad to her that she keeps referring to.
Of course, her dad, Jonathan, was an excellent collegiate safety at Akron. Then got a cup of coffee in the NFL with the New York Jets. And now watching his daughter Macy and Virginia battle Indiana here. One game away from reaching a regional final again. In Knoxville, Eaton draws a walk. First time aboard for the Who's starting first baseman.
She writes affirmations and things that she's grateful for in that journal as well. But I just love hearing what works for different players. I mean, there's a significant jump from last year to this year, and she's really freed herself up mentally. And this is what's worked for her.
Third baseman number 30, Bella Cabral.
Everything has worked for Bella Cabral tonight. 2 for 2. Pair of runs scored and a run driven in. Over to third. They're going to try to turn 2 and won't have enough time to do so. But Madeline Strader does get the lead runner. One down and a runner at first.
The DP number 17, Reagan Hickey.
Big deep breath from Hickey, who's had a fantastic tournament. Homered earlier tonight.
Got a full count. Reagan Hickey first at bat. Get Virginia on the board after a Cabral RBI, a 2-run home run for Reagan Hickey.
Got to ride Chestnut the horse, who was purchased for this team by Macy Eaton's dad, Jonathan, from a Walmart. The things that become props and then must-haves in the dugouts of these teams entering the postseason.
It's a nice changeup by Nannen to work the outside corner. It seems like these right-handed hitters for Virginia are finding themselves a little bit off the plate. Giving themselves a lot of room. They're not crowding the plate whatsoever.
Manning working ahead on Hickey. That's a strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Okay, Manning going up with her rise ball up and in on the hands, despite Hickey being well off the plate, potentially looking for something in. Throws that low rise ball through the zone, gets a home run hitter to strike out. And after that leadoff walk, Indiana has 2 outs.
Two-0 count to the freshman from Woolwich, New Jersey, Hannah Weismer. She's had a nice night at the plate. Good block by Parker. 3-0. 5th walk tonight drawn by the Hoos.
And I don't know where that pitch was. I mean, that looked like it was a strike. I really don't know where that pitch was, but that's the prime example that I'm talking about, Matt. Like, that has to be called a strike. To me, there's no question that that was a strike.
Shanda Bell may agree. She's out of the Indiana dugout, as is Shonda Stanton, patting her pitcher on the back.
I'd be willing to take some opinions on where you guys think that this pitch was. Maybe
It's belt high, but it crossed the plate lower than belt high.
I don't get it.
Chime in on Twitter, why don't you?
Take a vote.
So 2 on and 2 out now for Virginia, and you got to watch out here, Amanda, because the grand slam hitter Alex Call is due up for the Cavaliers. It came in her last at bat in the 3rd.
2 home runs today for Alex Call, and this last one was a grand slam to give Virginia a 4-run lead. What a day that she's had. You can tell that Alex Call is a gamer. We've seen it at second base. We've seen her do big things up at the plate with her 2 home runs in the 2 games today, 6 RBIs, 3 for 5 today. Impressive day for Call.
It was her 2nd grand slam of the year, and at the time gave Virginia a 4-run lead. That has dwindled to 1. And as you alluded to earlier, you better keep scoring runs in this tournament. Foot on the gas, but particularly against IU.
It's a good call at the bottom of the zone there. It's like if you're not going to get that pitch more up in the zone that we were talking about, then hopefully you can get that pitch down in the zone, a called strike. Nice height for that pitch for Mannon to get ahead of the grand slam hitter, 0-2.
Mannon gets a strikeout, and she is pumped up walking off the diamond here in Knoxville.
Maybe taking out some frustration after that 4-pitch walk. The batter before to Weismer goes right at the grand slam hitter with 2 runners on, a runner in scoring position. And Brooke Mannon says, let's go, after a 3-pitch strikeout.
One-run game in Knoxville, the final elimination game of the day. Winner gets a date with Tennessee tomorrow in the regional final. Indiana down 1. Their head coach, Shonda Stanton, joins us. Coach, you already had to play one today. It was a walk-off winner against NKU. What did you guys do in the 45-minute window before this one kicked off?
Well, you got to feed them. You got to eat always, right? A little modified dynamics. Went in, got a little more cage work because we're going to see different velocities, and really just reminded them it's memory May. Remember what you've done well. Remember what you've done to get here. You don't have to do anything else. We're not recreating the wheel. Memory may, go out, do the things that you do well.
Coach, what is the vibe like in a game like this when you know the opponent? You've been back and forth 2 times now. What's the vibe like in the dugout and the conversations?
Yeah, I think a lot more comfortable than last night. Gosh, Brooke's doing a great job being the firewoman, but I felt like we needed to find the zone a little bit better early. But our sticks know we're in striking distance, and our motto today is calm, cool, and crush. And as long as we stay in striking distance, we're going to have coolness at the plate. We're going to be calm at the plate. And we're going to swing on.
You got a lot of good phrases, Coach. Somebody's got to make a T-shirt in Bloomington. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Go IU.
Oh, my gosh.
What's better, Memory May or Calm, Cool,
you're
Crush?
Good. No, we're just going to talk about you now when you get on the
I
headset
appreciate
and say all the
that.
good
Hey,
things.
thanks for coming out, guys.
Thank you. But we thought it was mayhem, but it's actually Memory May. You know, this whole time we've been doing it wrong.
What do you do during Memory May, Amanda Scarborough?
I call games. What do you do?
I try to stay calm, stay cool, and crush.
Okay, so instead of calm, cool, and crush, I call cool and crush.
Oh,
Crush
I see what
games
you did
that
there.
I call. Here we go.
Eden Bigham is coming in yet again for Virginia. She has pitched now in all 3 games of their regional so far. Takes on the bottom of the order. Misses upstairs to Cassidy Kettleman.
Nice change up there by Eden Bigham. And Eden Bigham, senior all-ACC pitcher, pitched against Indiana in yesterday's game, gave up those 4 earned runs. Probably going to give them a different look today, and she can with that changeup that she's worked her career on.
Bunt drop down. Kettleman beat it out. Bang, bang play on the throw by Weismer. And another bunt single for the 9-hitter of IU. That's the 2nd of the day for Cassidy Kettleman.
When she deads it like this, there's really no getting her out. Look at Bella Cabral. She's crawling up the line, anticipating a bunt, and instead Weismer takes it. But it's just in the perfect spot. Kettleman has all that speed. She uses it to cover ground in the outfield and gets down the line with a bunt single.
Tying run is aboard in the 4th. And back to the top of the order for Allie Van Brandt.
With the lefties with speed up at the plate, this is where Cabral has camped out. Been playing about halfway at the line. Now with 2 strikes, she will move back, but she just is daring these Indiana lefty speed players to bunt it in front of her. Didn't work out the way that she probably wanted it to with the Kettleman bunt. Didn't get a chance to throw her out, but she's ready for the lefty speed.
0-2. Upstairs.
That looked like it just went right over her head, didn't it?
She's already been hit in the helmet once this weekend. Last 3 plate appearances for Van Brandt. Single, hit by pitch, and the walk-off homer to send her team into a 2nd elimination game. Eden Bigham now pitching in 10 of her team's last 11 games. A seasoned senior from Rustburg, Virginia. Big time performer over the years. 2-time first team all ACC hurler. 2-2.
Coming into such a big situation in this game to face the top of the order for Indiana down by 1 run. There's a reason that Joanna Harden is putting Eden Bigham with all the experience out.
Van Brandt went that time. Strikeout for Bigham. First out of the 4th.
Got her to chase off the plate. This didn't ever really look like it started or ended as a strike, but Van Brandt being aggressive, chases that outside pitch well off the plate, and Bigham gets a strikeout against the home run hitter that we saw earlier today in the walk-off home run against Northern Kentucky.
Ball one to Alex Cooper, still in search of her first hit of the tournament. Comes to the plate here, 0 for her previous 7. Had a deep fly ball in the second inning that went 203 off the bat, but Jaden Griffith crashed into the wall to rob her of an extra base hit.
Keep that in your back pocket, though, especially when you're somebody that's over and you have a connection like that. You hope that you're I don't know, her mom or her coach, that she's not getting too wrapped up in results, that she didn't get a hit, but that she had a great approach in that at bat and a great connection, and that she carries that same approach into this at bat.
Hitters count. That's a strike. Full to Cooper. Who leads Indiana with 19 doubles. Second on the team with 6 triples. She has been an extra base hit machine. Tying run aboard. Mile high pop up, it'll stay in the infield. 2 gone.
She just missed that.
Catcher for IU, number 18, Avery Parker.
Avery Parker is the career home run and RBI record holder at IU. Swings through the off speed.
Been out in front of a lot today. Tell being kind of antsy, a little bit aggressive. So of course Bigham goes with that changeup first pitch.
Ball gets away from Weismer, and now the game-tying run in scoring position. Kettleman with all kinds of speed at second base on a ball into the outfield. Will Indiana test the arms of the Virginia defense?
Bigham has pitched her tough in this at bat. First strike, changeup that brings in look to be like a curveball right at the knees, gets the lower half of the zone.
1-2 down the left field line, foul territory. Griffith watches it get out of play. Indiana tonight 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. In both previous innings in which they have had a runner reach second or third, they have scored. Runner at second here. 1-2, flared over the head of the second baseman, Alex Call. And Kettleman will score to tie the game at 7.
Alex Call just did not read this well off of the bat. She went up on it, and then it just kept going. It just didn't look like she saw it. Very end of the bat when it connected with the ball.
Boy, that looked like it was in the webbing, Amanda.
Just not an easy position to catch a fly ball when you get to that spot and you're trying to retreat back after a bad read, and that will go down as an error, and this game is tied after that error.
6th error of the tournament for Virginia, and it cost them again. But now Josie Bird, can she do damage again? Good off speed from Bigham. Bird is 4 for her last 5 in the tournament with 2 homers. Bigham trying to keep this a tie game going into the 5th. Go ahead run aboard with 2 outs.
Knew she was going to go right back to that changeup, thrown it multiple times to Josie Bird, who had a home run in her first at bat. They're playing her to the pull side, so expecting her to be out in front of that changeup, expecting her to pull toward the left side, and second base and right center field is wide open if she can stay on one.
Bird flares it, infield caught. Hilton ends the inning. Indiana ties it at 7 apiece. Are you having fun yet? We go to the 5th.
1 error and 1 left.
There have been 6 runs scored for Virginia off 2 homers today. Reagan Hickey in the first, a 2-run bomb. Go ahead and ride Chestnut the horse. Then in the third, a grand slam, the second of her season for Alex Call. And the Who's home runs have just dominated their offense in this tournament. Look at this, 38% of their runs scored over the course of the season prior to the tournament had come off of homers. In this tournament, through 2.5 games, 16 of their 20, good for 80% of their runs, Amanda, have come from the long ball.
It's an explosion of power by Virginia. That we would expect nothing less this year in 2026, but for home runs to rear their head in the NCAA tournament, we've seen it all year long, and now players are swinging big. Season's on the line. OKC on the line.
Mannon back in the circle for IU. Delivers a strike to Jaden Griffith. Well struck ball in the opposite field. Griffith is aboard yet again. 3rd straight game in this tournament she has reached.
She's been so good at the plate. in left field, doing it all.
Right fielder, number 27, Madison Green.
It's always interesting, Amanda, coming into postseason, particularly for first-year players that have never gone through this grind. Who is refreshed coming into Mayhem and who just has a hard time maintaining a level of performance this late into the year. Banged up, everybody dealing with something at this point. Jaden Griffith has been a star in her freshman year. Two-0 count to Madison Green. Starting her third game of the tournament after she had not started since April 18th against Clemson. Up to second without a throw goes Griffith. And the go-ahead run is in scoring position. This is eerily similar to last night's game between these two teams. Punch, counter punch all night long.
You know, I'd seen a tweet coming into this regional breaking down all the regionals from 643, and they had labeled, or I should say ranked, all the 16 regionals in terms of most competitive, and they had put this one as number 2 out of 16.
Green, moonshot, forget about it! Another bomb for the Cavaliers.
By Virginia's number 27, Madison Green, her second of the season.
Virginia has scored all throughout their lineup now. Maddie Green from the 8-hole turning on this pitch. Virginia just continues to have such good at-bats, and if Indiana's pitchers throw a ball on the plate, it's considered a mistake. They are attacking it, not chasing a whole lot, punishing the few mistakes that Indiana's pitchers have made. And Green gives Virginia back the lead in another high-scoring affair between these two teams.
Second home run of the tournament for Green, who is starting simply because Kelsey Hackett got injured during the ACC tournament. Green showing why she belongs and relishing the moment here. Virginia back in front. And time called as Shanda Bell is back into the circle for IU. And Ella Trout getting loose again with Taylor Hess, who started this game, gave up 3 runs in the first inning. How about this for Virginia's offense? Amanda, you alluded to it earlier. We talked all last night about the matchup being about Indiana's bats versus Virginia's pitching. Since April 1, entering the tournament, the Hoos were on a bit of a slide. 7 wins, 10 losses over their final 17 games. They hit 224 during that stretch. In this tournament, they've hit 276. And 18 of their 22 runs have been scored off the long ball. That's a lot of dingers between two teams.
29 runs between two teams. And the wind has not been blowing out or anything here. The wind last night and tonight actually isn't blowing at all.
One-two, foul tipped into the mitt of Parker.
Good response by Brooke Mannon. get the strikeout of the 9-hole. It's paints that outside corner. Great location for Mannon.
At the plate, the shortstop, number 10 for UVA, Jade Hilton.
Back to the top of the order here, Jade Hilton.
The senior class has been just historic for Virginia. Virginia had not made the NCAA tournament since 2010, and then the senior class came in and they made it a couple of years ago, and now making it 3 consecutive years in a row. And a lot of native Virginians that have known each other for a long time, including Jade Hilton and Eden Bigham. They played against each other when they were 10, and then when they were 14, they started playing travel ball together. They are kind of a package deal, ended up deciding to come to Virginia together from close by. A lot of pride as Virginia kids playing for Virginia. And they're really smart too. Very good students. Graduated from Virginia in 3 years, and they even walked at graduation at community college getting an associate's degree before they even walked in their high school graduation. So doing it on the softball field and also doing it in the classroom too.
There was a few of them too, Amanda, that playing travel ball with and against each other, sort of all decided, right, to come to Virginia, try to bring this program to a new standard. Prior to their arrival, Hoos had only been to the NCAA tournament once. That was back in 2010. Now they've been, as you said, 3 years in a row.
Looks like we're having some more issues with the pitch calling device on Mannon's arm, and they're trying to get it situated because this has happened a few times now. And if it's happening once every now and then, the umpire's like, yeah, of course that happens, right? But the fact that this is happening once or twice an inning is going to cause the umpire to step in and say, all right, potentially the next time that you go past the action clock, we might need to do a violation. I don't know. It just seems like this keeps happening.
Disruptive to the hitters.
Yeah, exactly.
Rhythm.
Into the game.
Full count here to Hilton. She's a fun watch, isn't she? Super athletic shortstop, wears the captain's C. 4-year starter with all the accolades. 3-time All-ACC. One of 4 All-Americans in program history. And all kinds of career records. Goes down swinging on a filthy off-speed from Mannon. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 gone.
Gets her way out in front of this changeup. Full count, and Hilton decides to chase, just way ahead, guessing out of the hand that Mannon was going to come closer to the zone, and well played by Parker and Bird at first base to make sure that they got that out with the drop third strike.
Base is clear for Macy Eaton. Slow roller, flipped by Van Brandt. Eaton head first slide, being helped up off the dirt. That's how hard these teams are playing. Madison Green, second home run of the tourney, gives the Hoos the lead.
This ball is continuing to fly off the bat of these Virginia hitters. Maddie Green added the 8-hole, a go-ahead 2-run home run. Give Virginia the lead.
Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. Action begins Thursday, May 28th, 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, you can visit NCAA.com, the official home of all NCAA championships. Amanda talked about the offensive explosion that we've seen not only this year, but in recent years in the sport. This is Division I softball history that's just been made time and again, it feels like, since the 2021 season. OU and UCLA still going at it in the postseason. Meanwhile, Indiana has a runner aboard yet again. The 5th straight inning, the Hoosiers have had at least one batter reach. This time it's Madeline Strader aboard for the 3rd time tonight.
Next up to center fielder number 16, Ellie Goins.
Ellie Goins has already driven in 1 run. Lines this deep into right field. Back on it is Green, makes the catch, spins and fires and sends Strader back to first.
Great beat that Green had on that ball. That looked like it was just going to keep going. She stuck with it. I think Indiana thought that that was going to be extra bases again. Following that one deep into right field.
Bat number 11, Brooke Mannon.
Now Brooke Mannon going to try to help herself out here. She has thrown 3 innings in relief tonight. That's her longest appearance in the circle since March 28th against Detroit Mercy. Up the middle, could be a double play. The flip to second by Hilton, not in time to get Mannon at first. 2 outs.
The right fielder number 1, Anna Haberstroh.
Second game of the tournament between these two teams. The first went 8 innings. Saw 15 combined runs scored. And for Indiana, they have 10 home runs and 31 runs scored off Virginia this weekend in 12.5 innings. That combines the two teams. These have been crazy games. 10 combined homers, 31 combined runs. Over 5 hours of softball and counting. 2-0 to Haberstroh.
And Big M is just continuing to work that changeup, a pitch that she did not come in to Indiana with and has just worked, or excuse me, into Virginia with, has just continued to work on that pitch each and every year. Her freshman year, she only threw that changeup like 4% of the time.
Flared left side, that will be caught by Griffith. Indiana strands 1. They trail by 2 as we head to the 6th. Bigham controlling the Hoosier bats.
of Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Loading 6 teams take the field in their home markets, each stacked with a lineup worthy of the spotlight. The AUSL on ESPN. This is legendary.
Returning June 9th, second season, expanded field of teams, city-based approach. Meanwhile, back here in Knoxville, 2-run game, 15 hits, 16 runs. We have had 31 combined runs scored in the 2 meetings between these 2 teams in this tournament, and yet just 1 lead change. Tonight, Indiana has never led. Last night, Virginia never led until they walked it off in the bottom of the 8th. Cavs leading here by 2 in the top of the 6th. Bella Cabral at the dish. Upstairs, ball 2. Brooke Mannon going deep, Amanda, into this outing. Now out for the 4th inning.
And they've needed her too, as Coach Stanton called her, the firewoman. Coming in to bridge the starter and potentially the closer, or maybe Mannon just stays out there at this point. Hasn't given up much, just that 2-run home run by Green back in the last inning that gave Virginia the lead, but she's competing, mixing the ball around, changing speeds when she needs to.
Their ace, Ella Trout, has already thrown 5 innings today. That was in the win against NKU. And I know your thought is just about winning this game, but there are potentially 2 more games in one of these 2 teams' futures tomorrow. In the air to center, Goins drifting a few paces to make the catch, 1 down. Loser season ends tonight. Winner advances to take on Tennessee in the regional final. And if they were able to beat the Vols in game 1, they would force a game 7 in Knoxville.
Gatekeeper UVA number 17, Reagan Hickey.
You know, I was thinking about how rewarding it probably felt for Virginia to walk off Indiana on Friday night, when going back to last year, their regional in Columbia, South Carolina, they lost to University of North Florida twice, and in both those games they had a lead going into the 6th inning and they blew that lead. So every year you're going to learn and build and have a different motivation, and I have to believe that they had regrets about last year and the opportunity that they had at South Carolina, losing to North Florida in those 2 games, and feeling like they have unfinished business being back here in Knoxville when they came here back in 2024, as you mentioned.
They definitely felt some type of way about how last year ended. Lost twice to North Florida in that Columbia, South Carolina regional, and returned such a big contingent of players. What a strikeout by Mannon. That is number 6 for Indiana's reliever, 2 gone in the 6th.
Mixing the ball all around. Look at her dropping this changeup, 51 miles an hour, pops it out of her hand. Avery Parker frames that pitch up, working hard back behind the plate. Boom.
Weismer has reached base in all 3 times she's come to the plate tonight. Here she is for the 4th time. Strike 1.
There's that upper part of the zone that we were talking about before with Mannon. She'll want to throw that rise ball right letter high, and sometimes she's getting the call. She didn't earlier in the game, but continues to go right back to it. And I like to see that upper end of the strike zone getting a called strike. It's so important to not just, see a strike in terms of the corners, but the top and bottom of the zone, to be able to get both, so that a hitter has to cover the top at their letters and has to cover the bottom at their knees.
Mannon nearing 70 pitches.
Went through Coach Harden's legs.
Yeah, that almost caught Harden over. Oh, yes. Take a bow, Coach.
Coach Weekly got hit earlier in the game. And she got hit so hard on her shin, she had to ice her shin during the game, she told us. Through the legs, though, that time. What athleticism over there.
That is good athleticism. Agile.
Still got it.
One-two pitch coming from Mannon. Her 70th of the night is a strikeout. 7th of the night, and the first 1-2-3 inning for either team tonight.
That's exactly what Indiana needed late in this game to build some momentum out on the field on defense and in the circle. Mannon, 2 strikeouts in a 3-up, 3-down inning.
The NCAA Softball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
There have been a lot of home run celebrations in the 2 times these teams have met in the NCAA Regional this year here in Knoxville. 10 combined homers, 31 combined runs scored, over 5.5 hours of softball. Indiana trails here in an elimination game with 6 outs left. This absolutely has been the greatest show on dirt. They have delivered. Eden Bigham trying to keep the Hoosier bats at bay. Cassidy Kettleman leads it off. In the 9 spot, top of the order looming for Indiana.
See if she tries to use that short game again, this little cat and mouse game that's gone on between Cabral at third base and Kettleman, as well as Van Brandt playing so far up the line, and Kettleman still not scared to lay down a bunt. Cabral just creeps up the third baseline, and I mean, it's 60 feet from third to home, and she's about, a third up the line, and then she continues to creep up and ends up about halfway up the line when it's all said and done.
Throwing all caution to the wind over there in the hot corner. Especially just with the pop that we've seen Kettleman use at times. She has smoked a couple of base hits in this tournament. Takes a strike on the 3-1 full count. Kettleman shoots it into left. One gone.
And Indiana has been running out a little offensive steam since Eden Bigham entered into this game. She has been so good. Courtney Lane started, gave up a couple of big innings, 3 runs in the first, and then 3 runs in the third. And Eden Bigham has been throwing really well, very confident. Here's Joanna Harden going to go out and talk to her. We'll see if she keeps her in the game or potentially goes to Taylor Smith. Look at that big smile from Coach Harden. Looks like they're going to go ahead and take her out for the top of the order and play the hot hand of Taylor Smith, the freshman, who they love using in these high leverage moments even as a freshman, and despite throwing almost 6 innings earlier today.
Looks like Bigham is going to potentially stay in the game, Amanda, which would allow her to come back into the circle if need be at some point tonight. Joe Harden strategizing here late with a 2-run lead and a trip to the regional final on the line. And yes, Bigham will remain in the game in right field.
And Taylor Smith, they like to use her in these high leverage moments. Joanna Harden is not shy at all about that. She said, Taylor Smith, you need to know that name. Will be in all the high leverage moments all weekend, late in the game, 2-run game. Pressure has been on Taylor Smith, and she has looked good, including in that Friday night game against Indiana, where she threw 3 innings, didn't give up any hits, did walk 3, but had 6 strikeouts. This is how well that she pitched against Indiana the other night. Her rise ball is just electric. She gets a lot of chase on that pitch up in the zone. They really like her, especially in these left-handed hitter matchups, but she has really late break to her stuff, throws with good velocity. Lefties coming into the weekend, hitting just 134 off of her. Against the righties, 216. So a really tough lefty matchup when Taylor Smith is in with her hard curveball. She'll bring in at 68, up and in on their hands, and then in a rise ball that is elite, gets good chase.
Next at bat, second baseman number 5, Holly Van Brandt.
Holly Van Brandt in her junior season, part of a couple of regional appearances prior to this year. But for Indiana, they have not been to the regional final since 2023 here in Knoxville. Beat Louisville twice that year, lost to Tennessee twice. Each of the last 2 seasons, earlier exits in the tournament. So they too, like Virginia, playing with a little bit of a chip this season. 2 gone.
It is a big out with where Indiana is at in their order, and exactly why they wanted to bring Taylor Smith in to face 2 left-handed hitters. Could have been 3 if she would have started the inning, because Kettleman let off another lefty.
Well, you said it, Amanda. Her lefty versus righty splits have been eye-opening this year. They have used her as the lefty specialist. They prepped her for this regional, anticipating pitching at least once against the heavily left-handed lineup of Tennessee. It just so happened they got another lefty-heavy lineup in this regional in Indiana. 2-0 count to Alex Cooper. Indiana starting to run out of outs here. Down 2 with 4 outs left in this elimination game. Strike 2 on the inside corner.
That pitch is coming in at 63, but it feels firmer to me than that when she throws that rise ball at 63 to 65 miles an hour up in the zone.
Cooper just trying to pass the bat here to the heart of this Indiana lineup. Avery Parker, the home run record holder of Indiana softball, on deck. Full count. And behind her, Josie Bird, who's already homered tonight in this game. Cooper seeking her first hit of the regional. Won't get it here. Taylor Smith, a 1-2-3 inning for Virginia, the first of the night for the Hoos.
And she is fired up. This is a freshman pitching like this at her first regional, trying to pitch Virginia to the regional final matchup against Tennessee tomorrow. Coming in and getting a strikeout, shutting 2 hitters down. She looks so good.
Time for tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. Alex Call in the third. Amanda Scarborough, a grand slam to give the Hoos a then 4-run lead.
I have a feeling this is a day that Alex Call is going to remember. Earlier in the day, she hit a home run off of Carlin Pickens and then a grand slam in this game tonight. Back-to-back games today that she has hit a home run.
Leads off the 7th with a 2-run lead. Brooke Mannon is yet again back in the circle. This is her 5th inning of work.
It's got to be one of her longest outings of the year, right?
Indeed it is. She last threw over 100 pitches on March 28th. This could be problematic. It is off the wall. Extra bases for Alex Call. A monster night for the starting second baseman.
And Virginia trying to score some insurance runs here would be huge, having to face middle of the order for Indiana in the bottom of the 7th inning. And what a great start. Alex Call just barreling balls up today. No matter the pitcher she faces, no matter the team she faces, has not mattered. Alex Call has seen some beach balls up there.
It has been rare this year that Mannon has faced a lineup more than a couple of times, and it looks like she's coming out. Shonda Stanton saw the way that ball got squared up and deciding to make a change, and it will be Ella Trout, who has already thrown today for Indiana in their walk-off victory in the first elimination game of the day. Pitched 5 innings, allowed no runs against Northern Kentucky. And she will be the 4th arm used in tonight's game against Virginia.
Number 77, Ella Trout.
Will come in here to take on the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for UVA. Boy, the bottom of their lineup has been so good against Hoosier pitching. If you include the 6 spot, which tonight has been Alex Call, they've hit .348 with 3 homers and 8 runs against Indiana pitching. Now she's taking on that part of the order with nobody out. Jaden Griffith, Madison Green, Cassidy Hudson trying to provide some insurance for the Hoos, who are just 3 outs away from a trip to the regional final.
See Ella Trout coming into this situation. I mean, Indiana is not scared to make pitching changes and use their full staff, that's for sure. Giving a lot of different looks, just trying to piece some things together with their pitching staff, keep the score where it's at, down by 2 runs. Your job right now, if you're Ella Trout, is to keep the score where it's at.
This is as of an hour ago. SEC dominating 21-3 in regional play. Virginia helping out the ACC with a pair of wins. One of 8 ACC teams in the tournament. Virginia 7-0 this year against Big Ten foes. 2 wins against Michigan, who are in the NCAA tournament right now, against OU in the Norman Regional. And 1 win against Indiana already. Looking for a second to punch their ticket to the regional final against Tennessee. 1-1 count to the freshman Jaden Griffith. Flared to center, and Goins is there for the first out. Last time Madison Green came to the plate, she went yard with a 2-run shot.
You know, Virginia has out-hit Indiana in both of these games. Virginia 9 hits, Indiana 7, and in game 1 they out-hit them 8-5. I think it still goes to show you just how important good pitching is.
Yeah.
You know, like looking at the stats, Virginia, you would say, has a better pitching staff than Indiana and helped them win that game. Some shutdown innings late in the game against Indiana in last night's game, and doing a good job pitching late in this game too against them.
0-2 is out of play. As it stands, that green homer is the difference in this game at the time, breaking a 7-7 tie. Sitting 0-2. Oh, just missed from Trout. Ball 1.
It's a good location and just an even better take by Green.
Sixth pitch of the at-bat. Ella Trout, at least as far as it goes on Indiana's staff, not their strikeout pitcher. Has often pitched to contact. We saw that today against NKU. A lot of contact against her, foul balls. Gets a strikeout here though, in a needed spot with a runner in scoring position. 2 down.
This pitch is moving out of the hand of Ella Trout. Drop ball, one of the best drop balls that I've seen her throw at this regional. Paints the corner, down movement, gets the chase from the home run hitter from earlier. She gets a second out with the runner in scoring position.
And out comes Shanda Bell and Shonda Stanton, the entire infield coming to around the pitcher's circle. Cassidy Hudson will come to the plate here in the 9 spot.
That's 10 strikeouts now, I believe, for Virginia's hitters. Indiana has just struck out twice. That's some lopsided numbers. Virginia has also walked 6 times compared to Indiana walking twice.
So Taylor Smith will actually hit in the 9 spot here. Remember, she came in last half inning to relieve Eden Bigham, who then stayed in the game in right field. Little dribbler, no play at first. Up to third goes Call.
Wow, that is so big. A miss hit is going to turn into a hit for Taylor Smith and get the bat in the hands of Jade Hilton in this inning.
Shonda Stanton is asking Anthony Small for something here. And she's, I believe, Amanda, thinking that that ball hit Smith's foot.
The ruling on the field is the batted ball came off of the putter's foot. Indiana is challenging this call. This ball was not off the foot, right?
Well, the call on the field is that it's a fair ball, and Indiana is challenging that it came off the foot of the batter. Here's another look at this. Nope.
Yeah, I did not think that that had happened.
I think this is going to be a quick review.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, a miss-hit ball that hits 1 foot in front of the chalk and results in a infield single, and now some insurance for Virginia just 60 feet away at third base. And the top of the Virginia order is due up with Jade Hilton coming to the plate. This is taking longer than expected.
All right, we got an answer.
And here we go.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The batted ball did not come off the batter's foot. Should be awarded first base. This will also be Indiana's first challenge. They'll have one remaining.
First career hit for Taylor Smith. It was an eventful one.
Yeah, and now Jade Hilton, the best home run hitter in Virginia history, is going to come up, and Indiana is actually going to make a pitching change for her at bat.
And it's going to be Brooke Mannon coming back into this game. She has twice faced Jade Hilton and both times struck her out tonight. You said it, Indiana not afraid to make pitching changes.
Boy.
Fourth change tonight.
Both strikeouts that Mannon got Hilton out on were a changeup that Hilton was way out in front. Right now, Coach Harden's like, you know what you're going to see. You faced her twice. Sit back. Don't guess. Look for something more firm. Stay off of that changeup.
And Trout will remain in the game. Big grin on her face. Here I come, ladies, to join this excellent star-studded Indiana outfield.
Yeah, just like we saw Eden Bigham for Virginia stay in the outfield, and she's smiling because she knows that this is not a familiar position for her. This is not the norm, but it's what they're doing to keep her in the lineup so they don't burn her by taking her out. They're putting her in right field so that if she does need to come back in and pitch, she can.
You talked about Jade Hilton maybe getting the instruction to sit change. Conversely, Amanda, if you are in the circle and you're Brooke Mannon, are you thinking, hey, she's probably looking change up here, I'm going to mix it up?
No, I said I would not look change.
Oh, you would not
look
change?
No, that she's been way out in front of it. I would look for something firmer out of her hand and not be out in front guessing. And Virginia and Indiana are going to look at the lineup card. This is where it gets really convoluted, and it's very difficult to explain what's happening with the DP flex position and the 10 spot in the lineup. So we're just going to let you know that that's probably what is happening. It's not really worth explaining. It's a lot for defensive players and hitters, but umpire trying to make sure that everybody is getting it right and make sure that you know who somebody is going in for. It also is what makes softball different because you can re-enter back into the game. In baseball, once you're out, you're out. And Jade Hilton has been thinking about this at bat now for a long time.
No warm-up pitches for Brooke Mannon. She did, of course, just exit the game earlier in this half inning. Her deepest outing since late March. Hilton to third, fielded by Strader. On to first. Indiana down 2, down to their final 3 outs. They'll lead off the 7th with the program's all-time home run leader, Avery Parker. punch, counterpunch. That has been the theme of the two meetings between Virginia and Indiana in this regional. Now the Hoosiers down to their final 3 outs, a trip to the regional final on the line. Taylor Smith back in the circle for the Hoos to start the bottom of the 7th. Eden Bigham remains in the game in right field just in case they need her services at some point in this inning or beyond, if Indiana can plate at least 2. And for the Hoosiers, they will have 3, 4, and 5 due up this inning, starting with the program's all-time leading home run hitter, team captain and 4-year starter, Avery Parker.
And Avery Parker has not barreled one up in this game. She's been out in front, a little antsy. It's going to be up to her to slow everything down, get a good pitch to hit, and try to get on time.
Fly ball into center on the first pitch she saw, 1 away. Josie Bird has homered tonight and singled. Big shift on for Bird. Three infielders shaded to the left of second base. Strike 1. And a monster gap in right center for Bird. There's 66 runs batted in this year, second on the team behind only Avery Parker. Down goes the sophomore from West Virginia. And the Hoosiers are down to their final out.
Taylor Smith wants the ball in the big moment. She has proven that yesterday. She has proven that today. Second time that we've seen her late in games. And my goodness, you can use her to start, close, bridge, finish, all of the things. She wants the ball at any moment. And she is so fun to watch pitch, compete for this Virginia team.
Oh-2 count to Madeline Strader. And the Indiana Hoosiers, who have been on a magical run this year, 40-plus wins for the third time in the last 4 years, are down to their final strike.
I mean, the real change in momentum was when Eden Bigham came into this game. Courtney Lane gave up 6 runs. Eden Bigham came in, slowed the momentum of the Indiana offense down. She's currently in right field just in case Virginia needs her to come back in.
Should Strader reach, Ellie Goins awaits. Goins, remember, homered twice last night against Virginia. You know she wants one more crack at the Hoos with a runner aboard and a chance to tie the game. One ball, 2 strike count.
This rise ball, again, she's throwing it at 63, but their swings, it seems like it feels like to hit against her, it's coming in at 68, 70 up in the zone.
Outside, ball 2. Strader to first. Tap of the bag by Macy Eaton, and the Who's are headed back to the regional final.
That concludes tonight's game number 5. The final score.
We just continue to be so impressed with the Virginia offense. We knew that they could pitch coming into this regional. That's not surprising me, the way that they're able to shut down some offenses, but their bats have absolutely exploded. Home run after home run, including the game winner off of the bat of Green back in the 5th inning. A 2-run home run that gave them this 2-run lead. 10 hits on the night for UVA. A great game for them.
And the tears streaming down for some of these Indiana seniors. Ellie Goins transferred in from North Carolina State. Avery Parker will leave as the only captain in the history of Indiana softball, at least during the Shonda Stanton tenure, to wear the C on her chest. A 4-year starter and somebody that this program will long remember.
Her name will be in the record books, who knows for how long, with the way that offenses are driving in runs and hitting home runs, but her name will be in there for a while. And what a career for Avery Parker, the senior class. A lot of fun to watch play, and they're going to be missed by their teammates.
And for Virginia, an exhale. They will get another crack at Tennessee, who they came very close to upsetting earlier today. Lost 7-5 in the winners bracket. And Alex Call joins us. Alex had her second Grand Slam of the season earlier tonight. That was a monster home run at the time. Gave your team a 4-run lead. Just talk about the resilience of this team tonight, Alex.
You know, we're just out here playing for our seniors. There's really nothing else we want to do. Got to buy them one more game, get them to the next super regional. This will be a first for our team, and there's really nothing else driving us but love for our teammates.
With the amount of home runs that you guys have hit in this regional, where do you think that this power is coming from in your guys' bats?
Just overall resilience. Our coaches do everything they can to prepare us for games and what we're going to see, and it's just faith in the plan and everything that they've prepared for us.
Alex, when you look ahead to Tennessee, the opportunity to face them again in a regional final like this team did a couple of years ago in 2024, what excites you about the opportunity to play the Lady Vols tomorrow?
Just another opportunity to bring it to them like we did earlier today and just give them everything we've got.
Alex, appreciate your time. Go rest up. We will see you at the yard tomorrow.
Of course. Have a nice night. Go Who's.
So the 2 spots in the regional final are set. It's Tennessee, who went 2-0 to start regional play with wins over NKU and Virginia. And the Who's out of the elimination bracket will get another crack at the Lady Vols. They fell to earlier on today by 2 runs. What a day. 3 games in the books. And by the end of tonight across the country, we'll be down to just 32 teams remaining. It'll be Virginia and Tennessee for a trip to a super regional. 7 Innings Live with Alyssa Lang is next.